Here we go. Now, what I was gonna say was, you hear about Diddy looking for Suge, and then you hear about possible relationship with Lauren London during Nipsey, and Nipsey's untimely
Mm-hmm.
passing. Um, I think I was telling you earlier where I feel like there's no such thing as coincidence, man. It's just so much kind of connects itself. Where I know I always ask the same thing. I always say the same thing, that should we be asking more questions when
Yeah.
something's given to us at face value in the media? that,
Yeah.
that man,
I think
there's
the biggest question that should be asked is why is this happening now? What's going on? Why is this happening now? If people spent more time paying attention to the timeline of things, they wouldn't be so surprised all the time.
yeah,
But the truth is people don't like paying attention. They just like being force fed stuff, and it's become the opinion game. Oh, well, in my opinion, but you're an idiot. Who cares about your opinion? Like honestly, YouTube has become like the Special Olympics for commentators. Just
yeah,
crash dummy after crash dummy after crash dummy. And they're not asking questions. They're imposing ideas. I think, this is what I think. This is what I think. But who are you? There's just there's too many there's too many tourists and spectators with opinions, and people with relevant commentary about what's really going on are constantly being overshadowed. And that's why the worst thing that I could do is be going back and forth about the details of the facts. Once again,
yeah. The facts are the facts.
the facts are the facts. I done said what it is. I think people are just more upset at how accurate I am.
Well,
I think that's what really bothers
it's
people.
like it's like a book club. You know, everyone has the same book. They go home and they read it, and they all join together and talk about the chapters that they read the night before, and they all talk about their interpretation of that book. And the book is the book; it's not going nowhere. But everyone received it differently. The internet is basically a giant book club where everyone sees the facts, but they interpret them differently, and they all want to sit around and talk about the way they interpret it. And hey, you might even have a few people on your side, and you may have even someone. Everyone loves a good debate. Who could be the best debater? And I think that's the realm we're living in now when it comes to.
Is it debate or is it disinformation?
Oh,
Because a lot of these conversations are geared to force people into an idea. There's a lot of group think that happens in these internet spaces. There's a lot of people that just sit around in the same room, trading the same lie or telling the same bad joke or sitting there insisting that something that's not true is true. There's a lot of that. And that's a lot more dangerous than stupid opinions
that is dangerous.
because, yeah, it's extremely dangerous. It's dangerous for the people they're talking about, and it's dangerous for the people that are listening. Because let's just be honest, the simple fact that Tory was forced into that very, very, very dangerous situation at the opening of the Diddy trial, and nobody's asking, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's the one thing I see with Tory, with R. Kelly, with Diddy is what when people want to crucify you publicly, they want to see that humiliation. They want to see you walk the gauntlet of that humiliation and accept it.
Yes.
And it's like when a man doesn't, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna stand on what I'm gonna stand on." It feels like it's almost glorified that the downfall is even swifter. And
Want to know why? People applaud success, but they root for failure.
come on,
They want it. They need it. You know how many people, after I was mentioned in that lawsuit, went and did videos talking about they knew it? They knew it was me. They knew I did it. They knew I was secretly working for Diddy. They knew that's how I knew so much, even though I knew nothing, even though I was never there, but I knew so much because, oh, yeah, for about 4 days, they ran with that. They ate it alive. And then, next thing you know, the thumbnail started rematriculating. Jaguar Wright was in jail on this date. Jaguar Wright was in jail March 23rd, 2018. It wasn't possible for her to do this. Whoop-de whoop-de whoop. What does this say for the lawsuit? What does this say for this? Tell me something. Why is nobody talking about that lawsuit now? It
Right.
was such big news. I mean, it was such big news that it was announced on TMZ.
The names listed: Jaguar Wright, Odell Beckham. I mean, Juice. It's. But no, it was. It sounded frivolous. It it sounded too spectacular. Like sometimes you could kind of stay in the pocket, but that they sound like they overshot their shot on that one. Like, yeah, this
And nobody
Barney
wants to
Rubble.
take into consideration that all of that happened almost immediately after I got the Defender of Freedom Award.
All right, all right.
But nobody wanted to talk about that. But they wanted to talk about this lawsuit. And they pushed it through and they tried to make it real. And now that it's clear, now that it's out there, now that I am going for countersuit, now nobody wants to talk about it? Why not? Why does nobody want to talk about it now?
Well,
More importantly, how this is stalling out Ashley Parham's case, which the conclusion of that case, should she have won, could have been testimony used against Mr. Combs in this trial.
come on. It, and Jack, I'm curious. No, 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 no. It's wild. But I'm curious. Before even Don went up there and spoke, the judge cleared out everybody. Week one was done. Told
Yeah,
everybody to go home, watch the Knicks. Just clear your mind of this. How does a jury stay away from like being? You're supposed to stay away from any information about the case. This is one of those things to where even the OJ trial wasn't in social media era to where yeah you could probably
I
just
know.
stay off the TV, but now it's like you can't turn nothing on without hearing about this or getting some type of YouTube or
The
news
jury
outlet,
should be sequestered.
basically, right? It-
The jury should be sequestered. The question is, how many YouTubers allegedly followed those jurors home this weekend?
mm, man, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think
Because a little birdie told me, allegedly, there were certain YouTubers that were following jurors home. Allegedly.
I
See, I'm not there to do commentary on the trial. I'm there to do commentary on YouTube.
nah, this is an experiment. This is this is one of those moments where we have to look at ourselves as a society and say,
Because I'm telling you, they making a lot of mistakes. And I'm collecting them and sending them to the FBI.
"Hey, hey, do you feel some people like even with them releasing the faces of some of the sex workers who still names are unidentified, but their faces are out there? Do you
Hmm.
feel a lot of people are going to become famous off of this trial? Kind of like we didn't hear about the Kardashians until the OJ trial, as far as Robert.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
feel like we're going to have this is about to create some careers?
Unfortunately, it's going to make and it's going to break some careers.
No.
You know, it's sad because this is America, and this is what America does best. It profits off of tragedy. Because the truth is, this trial is the shame of America. Diddy is the evidence of how corrupt and godless this country is. Diddy is the living embodiment of a godless nation. He's also the living example of the desecration of hip hop.
Mm.
All of this is on trial and the whole world is watching. And do you know what every other country is saying right now? Oh God, those awful Americans. Oh my God. That Pete Diddy. Oh, they endorsed him. Oh, he was everywhere. Oh my God. They had him over here with the royal. Oh my God. This is what they're saying.
Yeah, but
This
what
is
is
how
that?
the world is looking at us. He is the example of the decay of our culture, of our society. This person has done exposés as a parent with children serving ice cream. And then we have to listen to bodily fluids and what he likes to massage his chest with. It's
What does it say
this is
to?
this is America.
Yeah, what does it say to Black America though? Because we have the situation where this is a black man doing these things, and you have Epstein.
Yeah.
Epstein took himself out of there before he went to trial. Harvey Weinstein, he just did an interview with
Listen.
Candace Owens. Nothing about Harvey Weinstein stuff even came out, or at least no one's speaking
No,
about it. How did we get to this level where, as a black man, we're getting the culture of black society is getting put out there? How did we not compress this type of information? Say no, we're gonna kind of try to protect our end, or do you feel like there's a bigger play at here? Because again,
he's the acceptable monster at this time.
there you go.
Just like R. Kelly. Rewind. We've been here before.
I guess why do the details of
We've been here before. And guess what? Did anybody stand up for R. Kelly?
you know,
No. And guess what? Ain't they doing the same thing with Diddy? The same ostracizement by the same industry that they were pioneers and captains of. Haven't you noticed that? The way Diddy is being treated is practically identical to the way they handled the R. Kelly situation. There were a lot of things going on around the time R. Kelly was on trial too.
you know,
Little dust ups, little hip hop interferences. You
yeah,
don't remember?
I remember. Uh, you,
Transrena, Transrena Kibi paying prison guards to give her information on R. Kelly, and then when she couldn't get any more of that, she just started attacking his survivors.
well,
Is nobody remembering? Same thing. You want to know what's different this time, though?
sure.
Where's the Me Too movement?
Where is that Me Too movement?
Where are they?
I see free Diddy. Well, I don't know if 50 Cent's paying $20 an hour, but I see free Diddy shirts outside versus the Me Too movement. Mute R. Kelly. That you
Why
couldn't.
aren't they muting Diddy? What
Exactly.
happened? What happened? He apparently he likes peeing on people, just like Robert.
Come on. Bust their head open while doing it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's really going on? What did I say? He was the acceptable monster at that time.